Hello. I'm just jumping on because I wanted to talk a little bit about this new cryptid that I made up. I really like making up cryptids, which is a big part of my upcoming series, Warrior Mage Librarians. And I've been writing, I've been working on it, yay! And I just made up this new cryptid. I'm sort of calling it a Sharkicorn because it's a cross between a shark and a unicorn. But I think I'm gonna have to change that because that's like what people who speak English would call it, and people who speak English don't know it exists because it's like a really old cryptid that has kind of disappeared because it's like under the water, and like there's so much stuff under the water that we don't know, like even in the real world, that we don't know about. And I'm not saying that cryptids aren't real. I'm just saying, like, science wise, there's a bunch of shit down there that we don't even know about. So this cryptid, it's very probable that like other cryptids don't even know about it. So I don't know why I'm holding this cable that I just picked up. But anyway, so I feel like its name should be in some kind of ancient language, or maybe not even ancient, just like old. Like, so it's the area of the ocean that I'm talking about with it right now is the Bermuda Triangle. Devil's Triangle is like a sort of nickname for it, and that's the name of my book. So all of my books in this series, the Warrior Mage Librarian series, are named after like this sort of dangerous sounding nicknames of places where cryptids live. So book 4, the final book in the series, is called Devil's Triangle because it takes place partly in Atlantis, which is a city under the Bermuda Triangle, but it's not the Atlantis that Plato talks about in his writings, because that one's fictitious. This one's real, and vampires live there. In my books. Anyway, so, but they named it after Plato's Atlantis. And anyway, so it's in the Bermuda Triangle, which is like in the Caribbean, obviously. And so I was kind of looking for like native languages of the Caribbean. And there's one, I don't know how to pronounce the language even. It's Taino, like Tiano maybe, or Tano. I don't know. Anyway, it's, pre-Spanish, what people spoke in the Caribbean, in much of the Caribbean. So I think I'm going to try and see if I can find a word for like shark. I probably can't find a word for unicorn, but maybe I can find like some kind of superlative for like big shark or something like that, and then kind of like bastardize it a little bit and use that as like its official name. And then maybe my characters can be like, fuck that, it's a Sharkicorn. I don't know, something like that. There's a fine line. Like, I try not to like appropriate like mythical creatures and call them cryptids unless they're like of European origin, because I don't feel like that's really appropriation, because European peoples, white people, are not, have not been colonized, have not been marginalized. We're the ones who did that. So like, for example, in my like original thing, I was gonna have like a Wendigo, but then like that's like a Native American myth. It's not like a cryptid. So like, I nixed that, but I still have like vampires and werewolves, even though those are like mythological creatures, but they're of European descent. That's where I draw the line. So anyway, so like, but then you have these creatures that I've made up, like the Sharkicorn, or I have these like immortal shape-shifting mushrooms that are kind of sort of like tangentially related to this like Incan god. And sorry, Kismet is very excited about the Sharkicorns too. Anyway, so I like wanted to name them like something Incan, so I sort of took some like the language like Quechua or something like that. I took some words from that and like mashed them together, but it's not like a real thing. So I don't feel like I'm appropriating, but like it's just logical that the name of this people would be in this language, right? I don't know. If there are any people of Incan descent watching this, or really anyone who associates with any kind of like tribal, like native indigenous people, and you have an issue with that, like, please let me know, because this is kind of my compromise, and I really don't want to be like, I don't know, I don't want to be fucking with shit like that. Like, I didn't colonize anyone, but my ancestors did, and I certainly don't want to carry that on. I don't know, it's complicated. It's a complicated situation. I'm sure everybody knows that. But I'm doing the best I can. Anyway, but the Sharkicorn. So it's I was sort of describing it as like a cross between a shark and shark and a narwhal, but because they're in the ocean. But then a friend informed me that a narwhal it's not actually a horn, like it's a tooth, and it comes from their like snout. So I'm like, okay, so it's not really like, that's not really what it is, like it's not, because it's this I want to be like, because I want them to be related to the unicorns, which are also cryptids in my series. And so because the unicorn, they're going to have similar powers. So like the unicorns in my universe have portal powers, so they like jump, they create portals that they can go through. They also can create like static portals, so like that are kind of like invisible unless you know what you're looking for. So you can like have a door that's in like a human sort of territory, but only cryptids can find it, because only cryptids know how to look for a unicorn portal. So I want the Sharkicorns to have that similar technology or magic. And that's why they're so rare, because most of them have gone to a different dimension. They no longer exist in this dimension. They have migrated to a different one. And so I haven't quite decided yet if the ones who are here now, because we're like rediscovering them essentially. So I haven't quite decided if the ones who are here now have come back, or if they've always been there and they've been hiding, and this cryptid war that's happening has brought them back out of hiding. I don't know. If you have opinions, shoot me a comment. Or don't, whatever. I don't. Sometimes people feel weird about making comments. I'll just figure it out for myself, because I'm the author. But if you want to comment, then you can. You can. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. I put up a barter section on my website. I talked about this a couple of videos ago. I'm very excited about the bartering. So basically, it's just like a list of things and services that I want or need. And you can go through that list. And if you have those things or services to offer, or anything else, like it's not an exhaustive list, you can fill out this little form and tell me like what you want to barter for. Like it could be ebooks, it could be paperbacks. That's really all I sell. But I guess I also have like book boxes, but those aren't on my website. Those are just like things that I do with like Kickstarter and BackerKit. But you can kind of figure out like what your things are worth ish, and what you want, like if you want ebooks or if you want paperbacks. Obviously paperbacks are more expensive, so if you have a higher ticket item or whatever, you can go for paperbacks. We can also do like part barter, parts cash, whatever. But I'm putting my website I'm putting the link to the bartery dues in the description of this video, or I already put it there. I already did it because I knew I was going to talk about it. So I was thinking ahead. Yeah. And if you want to barter with me, like I'm totally up for it. I'm trying to be like a little bit less on the capitalistic side of things, because I don't know, like capitalism is the worst. So yeah, hit me up. Bye.